The neighborhood debate over late-night outdoor stampede parties.
There's still families that need sleep. We still need to live.
Let people have some fun, right? It's not that big of a deal.
The mayor pushes back as politicians outside Calgary start weighing in.
Stay in your lane, man.
Plus, a driver is shot by police on Deerfoot Trail.
We were called for multiple reports of an erratic driver.
The 24-hour cat and mouse that led to a woman's death on a busy highway. And a Calgary study with a little bite.
In a typical year, we kind of see some rain in June, and then the mosquito numbers kind of peak mid-July.
Our mostly mosquito-free summer may soon be coming to an end.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. Calgary Council will debate whether to reverse rule changes to the city's noise bylaw during the Stampede. Updated regulations for concerts limit how loud and how long music can play, but it's causing quite a stir. Politicians from every level of government sounded off on the changes and urged the city to rethink the move. Jordan Canagan has more.
As preparations continue for the Cowboys Music Festival, it's the noise before the Stampede event that's being turned up.
We really didn't know what's going on. So the effects could be laying off, job loss, could be loss of revenues for both me and the city.
Updated noise rules mean weekday music for outdoor concerts and events will have to end by 12:30 a.m. And the allowable volume is 5 decibels lower than last year.
It's a good balance between the local needs of the residents, but also the recognition that Calgary Stampede is an important part of our economy and we need to support festivals like this.
But the political pushback has been swift. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith saying the fun police have struck again, this time targeting the Stampede. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre also chiming in, saying so-called City Hall gatekeepers are making a big mistake.
We're definitely happy to work alongside industry to see ways that we can address those concerns that the local residents have while also allowing as much flexibility. But to be clear, it's not helpful for Ottawa politicians like Pierre Poilievre weighing in on what's happening here in Calgary. Stay in your lane, man.
Even those living near the Beltline Festival seem split.
Like, why? Let people have some fun, right? It's not that big of a deal. It's no different than when it was done by Victoria Park.
There's still families that need sleep. We still need to live. We still pay rent here to live comfortably.
But a debate will be back at City Hall on Tuesday, where a motion seeks to reverse the rule changes.
I think that the city really will take a good look at it and try to understand best what's for everybody involved. And I'm pretty sure the mayor wants to do the right thing for everyone as well.
Jordan joins us from Stampede Park tonight. Jordan, there will also be changes at Stampede when it comes to safety.
Tara, that's right, and it's not just about noise. Alberta sheriffs will be deployed to the city to work alongside Calgary police officers at Stampede tents, like Cowboys behind me. They'll be looking out for social disorder and property damage that spills out into the community. Now, when it comes to that notice of motion about possibly reversing the noise bylaw changes, it will be introduced at council first thing tomorrow morning. They'll need to take care of it fairly quickly as well. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith issuing a letter to the mayor and council less than an hour ago saying that they need to deal with this issue and take care of any stakeholder consultation with a plan by June 30th. Tara?
Okay, Jordan, thank you. Alberta is reversing its decision to increase the price of beer. Earlier this month, the AGLC brought in new minimum prices for beer sold in bars and restaurants. A price of a 20-ounce pint of beer would increase from $3.20 to $5. But after Calgary Mayor Jeremy Farkas posted, "It looks like the fun police have struck in Alberta," the province reduced the minimum beer price. We're learning more about an interaction with Calgary police that left a woman dead. She was shot on Deerfoot Trail Sunday afternoon. Moses Woldu joins us with more details. And Moses, police say they reviewed multiple reports of a dangerous driver.
Well, Tara, there were multiple reports of an erratic driver over 24 hours, but the suspect and police were tracked down by Sunday afternoon. Officers say that they received calls from downtown about a person driving the wrong way on one-way streets who was involved in multiple collisions. When officers tried to take the woman into custody on Deerfoot Sunday, police say an altercation occurred and she was shot by an officer. She was rushed to hospital where she was pronounced dead. The Alberta Serious Incident Response Team, or ASIRT, will be conducting an investigation. Doug King, a professor of justice studies at Mount Royal University, says any investigation performed is going to be thorough and no stone will be left unturned.
These are rare situations. The officers are trained to as to when they're going through the use of force continuum. But there's always at the end of it their knowledge that they cannot be extreme in the use of force because they can be held criminally liable for it. And that has happened in Canada.
Now, no name has been released at this time. There was a similar case to this back on Christmas of 2018 involving a 30-year-old woman, Stacey Perry. Now, she was killed after being shot by an officer after police tried to stop Perry for recklessly driving in the neighborhood of Inglewood. The officer in question was cleared of any wrongdoing. Tara?
Okay, Moses, thank you. Calgary police have charged a 68-year-old man with manslaughter after a man died in the Beltline this weekend. Police have identified the victim as 67-year-old Howard Gordon Hunter. They say he died at Tompkins Park Saturday evening. A memorial has been growing at the park, which is just off 17th Ave Southwest. People left flowers and signs in honor of Hunter. Danny James Turkich was arrested and charged. A cyclist died after being hit by an SUV Saturday afternoon. Police believe the driver had a medical incident on Centre Street North near 19th Avenue. His vehicle drifted onto the curb and struck a cyclist, dragging him a short distance. The cyclist, a man in his 60s, was pronounced dead at the scene. The SUV then hit another vehicle and a pedestrian before coming to a halt. The driver suffered critical injuries while the pedestrian was not seriously hurt. Fire crews responded to a house fire in Spruce Cliff this afternoon. There was a lot of smoke pouring from the bungalow on 3rd Avenue and 37th Street Southwest. There's no word on injuries or how it started.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
You may not be seeing many mosquitoes at the moment, but the city says get ready because when the temperature warms up, they will be out. Cooler temperatures have helped create a breeding ground for the insects in nearby waterways. And once that heat returns, you can expect the bugs. Tyson Fedor reports.
Summer has arrived in Calgary. The weather, however, remains wet and cold. A perfect place for these annoying critters to lay their eggs.
We haven't seen a very high number of mosquitoes in our traps that we've been collecting. We're kind of waiting for things to warm up to see more adult activity.
Alex Coker is an integrated pest management technician. She says mosquito numbers are lower than average for this time of year.
In some traps we would get like maybe 10 or 15, and in some it would be in the hundreds. I would say on average right now we're maybe getting less than 50 a trap. And when we look at kind of previous years for this time of year, that might be closer to like 100.
The city does not expect a record year for the pesky insects at this point, but more rain and a quick warm-up of temperatures could change that.
I haven't noticed them, but I feel like because it's so wet, they're only going to get worse, so I think they're coming.
I think they're a bit of a pest. Like we're visiting some people here, and last year they were a lot. You know, the grass was just full of them.
The University of Calgary partnered with the city to research the health implications of mosquitoes. Researchers say the first mosquito trapped this year is actually an invasive species.
We first found that mosquito in 2022 working with the city. It was previously found in Edmonton in 2018, and that is the northern house mosquito, Culex pipiens.
That mosquito is a main vector of the West Nile virus in eastern Canada, but the disease is fairly low risk here in Alberta.
You get bitten by a mosquito that has West Nile. For most people, they end up with no symptoms at all. There are a small number of people that after being infected by West Nile, they end up with flu-like symptoms.
Calgary has around 30 species of mosquitoes and breed in rain barrels, bird baths, and standing water. Experts say to prevent being bitten, to use bug repellent or wear long-sleeve clothing. Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
And the University of Calgary says last year 200 Calgarians participated in its Skeeter Seeker project. They captured 250 mosquitoes. Okay, I haven't missed the mosquitoes, but I am missing the heat, Danielle. Are we getting any?
Yes, lots of heat over these next few days, stable and sunny. So, make sure you have the bug spray ready to go so those skeeters can't ruin it for you. All right, so here you go. There's that counterclockwise spin. This is the low that impacted us over the weekend. The hail, the rain. In fact, it even drove 102 millimeters of rain into Edmonton. That's tracking off, but there's still the chance of isolated showers as we head up until the midnight hour. 15 degrees is the temperature. We're gusting at 43 kilometers per hour, and those 40 kilometer per hour gusts possible for the next few hours, and then it will wind down. We're looking at calm winds for tomorrow. 20 degrees is a daytime high, lots of sunshine, and we will get warmer after this as well. I'll be back with that longer range forecast in just a little bit.
Thank you, Danielle. A milestone moment for a Calgarian at the FIFA World Cup.
The referee tonight, the Canadian Drew Fisher. His first World Cup game. He's from Calgary, Alberta. He's one of
Fisher is the referee for the World Cup game between France and Iraq this afternoon in Philadelphia. As you heard, it is his first ever World Cup game as the head official. It's also the first game that Fisher and his all-Canadian crew have worked at this tournament. And it is not the only Alberta connection. His assistant referee, Michael Barwegian, was born in Coaldale. Just ahead on CTV News at 6, a police officer is among 3 killed in Montreal. The frightening scenes adding to a surge in gun violence against law enforcement. And the gear many people use to play video games now helping train nurses will go inside a virtual reality lab. Next. Canada's policing community is mourning the loss of another fallen brother. A Montreal officer was among 3 people killed in a shooting this morning. A second police officer was left in critical condition. CTV's Jean-Vier Beauchemin has the details.
A massive police investigation has been launched after what was a very, very chaotic day here in Montreal that saw the loss of 3 lives, a police officer, a young male police officer, a suspect, but also a civilian. There's also a female police officer who was injured. Her life is not in danger, but we're told she was seriously hurt. The chain of events started at about 11:35 this morning with a call, a 911 call saying that there was the barrel of a gun that could be seen protruding from a building. And so police officers responded to that call. They got to the scene and there was a shootout with police officers and the suspect. We don't know exactly what happened, who the suspect was at the moment, and what the investigation will reveal about the motives of that particular suspect, though police say he was wearing camouflage and they're investigating exactly what kind of events led to this moment. We also know that at the moment of that shooting, there was a lot of chaos, a lot of movement at the particular scene. This is an area where there are a lot of people milling about at that time. There were people shopping around the area there. We spoke to one witness, John Alexander, who was talking about the fact that he was there. He had just gone to the grocery store, had come out when he started hearing gunshots, about 40 of them. Here's what he had to say about the events that unfolded.
The active shooter was like in front of me.
You saw him?
Yes, I saw him. It was a white dude, old dude, with a camouflage, with a shotgun on the hand, so that's very scary.
It's not clear just how the investigation will unfold, what police force will be doing that, but it is just the beginning. Now, this has been, of course, a very difficult day for the police force here in Montreal. The police chief, Fadi Daguerre, actually came to the scene and spoke to reporters about the events. He talked about the fact that this is the first time in 24 years when a police officer here in Montreal has been killed in the line of duty, has been shot and killed in the line of duty. So certainly these are very, very difficult times. Here's how the police chief, Fadi Daguerre, described it.
It's a very, very sad day. It's a nightmare. But we have to be solid. We have to be solid for our lady police officer who survived. And we're all behind her. And, well, that's it.
There was a very large perimeter that had been set up here in Montreal because police didn't know if there was a second suspect. They didn't know where this investigation would lead, so they had shut down major arteries in the city that led to traffic chaos. The traffic has begun flowing again, but this investigation is just beginning. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
In Saskatchewan, 2 RCMP officers are in hospital after being seriously wounded in a shooting. It happened just after 9:30 last night in Melville. That's about 150 kilometers northeast of Regina. Police were called to a report of an assault at a home. A gun was fired as officers arrived and 2 of them were hit. Reinforcements were deployed, and at around 2 o'clock in the morning, the suspect and another person came out of the home. The suspect was arrested. The other person was cleared of any involvement.
This is CTV News Calgary.
After days of heavy rain in the Edmonton area, things are more than a little soggy. Sports fields and some low-lying trails are closed, and many people are drying out their basements. EPCOR is asking people to limit their water use, although it appears the storm system so far is handling all that rainfall. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
The water is high in this storm pond in North Edmonton, in some parts washing over a walking path. Extra swimming space for this mother and her ducklings, and an inconvenience for this man on his daily walk. But he says at least his walkout basement is dry.
My basement is fine because I do have a slope on my grass.
Despite heavy rainfall for the last week or so, and especially over the weekend, EPCOR says stormwater facilities like this are working as designed.
You will see higher levels than normal, and they're doing their job.
Anthony Nardi says his team responded to more than 600 calls on Sunday alone. Crews were dispatched to clear catch basins and drains.
Ensuring that things are flowing where they're supposed to.
Not everything flowed where it was supposed to. Just before 11 o'clock, a dock with some boats still attached dislodged on the North Saskatchewan. Edmonton Fire sent its jet boat to intercept, but crews decided it was unsafe to do so. There's the dock with some boats still attached to it, floating just under the high-level bridge at this point. Took maybe a half hour or so for it to get from Laurier Park to here. All 5 boats appear to have stayed attached to the dock after hitting the high level as the CTV drone tracked it downriver. Elsewhere, the newly renovated pool at Coronation Rec Centre is closing due to weather-related flooding, and the West Lawn Cemetery is also dealing with the deluge, some graves inaccessible due to large puddles. It's enough pressure on the drainage system that EPCOR is calling on Edmontonians to help.
Continue to conserve water right now will make the system more resilient over these coming days, so the rainfall can make its way through the pipes and open them up so we can return to normal use.
EPCOR says you should cut back on washing dishes, clothes, and yourself as much as possible, as more rain is expected this week.
And overland flood alerts are in place for several communities in the Edmonton area. The advisory includes Wabamun, Beaver County, Stony Plain, and Lac St. Anne County. The areas receive reports of sewer backups impacting people's homes. People in Beaumont and Leduc County are asked to limit water usage to reduce the impact to the wastewater system. Earlier this afternoon, St. Albert lifted its water supply alert. The city says 10 single-family homes, 1 multi-family site, and 1 commercial site have been impacted.
I don't think we've ever had a situation where we've put water restrictions in place to help out the sanitary sewer system because of a stormwater issue. So this is a fairly unique one.
The city is asking people to steer clear of the Sturgeon River as it will take a couple of weeks before the water levels recede. There is some good news tonight in the firefight near the village of Lytton, British Columbia. Officials with the Lytton First Nation and the Thompson-Nicola Regional District have downgraded some evacuation orders after cooler temperatures overnight and lighter winds have allowed some community members to return to their homes. The 7 square kilometer Saw Creek wildfire is still burning out of control, but BC Wildfire Service says it is growing away from communities. The wildfire broke out Friday, just days away from the 5th anniversary of the inferno that razed that town and claimed 2 lives. All right, let's bring Danielle back in as we look ahead to our own 5-day forecast, and it's getting pretty good finally.
Yeah, you know, so while our friends to the west are dealing with some stuff, the friends to the north have been dealing with other things. We are getting really beautiful weather for about 3 days straight. So I want to make sure you enjoy it. So we talked about the mosquito issue that's going to pop up here. Make sure you have the bug spray. Make sure you have sunscreen because we're going to get a lot hotter than today. Today's high in Calgary was just 16 degrees. A normal daytime high is around 21. So we'll be closer to the normal temperature over these next few days and we'll surpass it a little bit. 15 degrees is the temperature right now. We also have cooler winds at times out of the north and northwest. So it's not a warm day, that's for sure. 15 in Brooks right now, 17 in Lethbridge, 14 in Medicine Hat. This is a look at the wind gusts today, and it was gustiest in Calgary where we maxed out at 57 and mainly in the 40s everywhere else. Pincher Creek just in the 30s. Winds will be calmer for tomorrow, so for Calgary specifically we'll max out around 30 kilometers per hour, and to the far south 30 to 40 is a possibility. Here's a look at this big system here, and you can see that counterclockwise spin. This is the core that's now moved off into Saskatchewan, but you can see how big this system is. And this really drove so much rainfall in such a short amount of time into Edmonton, which is why they saw over 100 millimeters of rain. And for us, we did get some hail. We got a little bit of rainfall from this, but this is basically done. It's still impacting areas around Medicine Hat and to the north of Medicine Hat, as you can see right here, with some rainfall. Some of these pockets are fairly heavy. For Calgary, we still have the potential for some isolated pockets of rain right up until the midnight hour. And then out of the way. We are looking at a whole lot of sunshine for tomorrow. Even the clouds clear out for tomorrow. So beautiful day, getting into those 20s for most communities in southern Alberta. And again, calmer winds, which will be nice. I want to fast forward this to Wednesday, because Wednesday there will be some development late in the day right along the mountains because of a BC system. But it's so stable here that a lot of this will just fizzle out really quickly. There may be some clouds peeking towards QE2, but outside of that, it's really just looking pretty fantastic. All right, here's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast, and I can't stress this enough. Enjoy these next 3 days as much as possible because we have another system on the way. And while it's a little early to tell how much rainfall we're going to get, it looks like a significant rainfall for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So in the 20s for the next 3 days. Late Thursday, the clouds will increase. Friday up to 5 millimeters of rain. Saturday we dip to 18, 10 to 15 millimeters, and another 10 to 15 millimeters at least for Sunday, with by then only a high of 14.
Thank you, Danielle. Nursing students at the University of Alberta are using virtual reality to immerse themselves in real-life scenarios. It started off as a pilot project, but it is now being implemented in part due to student feedback. Naramanisa reports.
Check and see if you're logged in.
These University of Alberta nursing students are gearing up for a virtual hospital shift.
Hi, Mr. Earl. My name is Addie. I'm one of the nursing students helping here today.
They are experiencing what it's like working in a hospital through these headsets.
To practice like your nursing skills, like your communication skills there, and then just practice with your also critical thinking. It provides such a safe environment, and then if you ever make a mistake, there's no risk of like patient harm.
Just running a few assessments now.
Virtual reality is now part of the curriculum for the nursing program.
We can't always guarantee that students are going to learn and be exposed to every clinical situation, but in virtual reality, we can actually create those situations. Let's call a code. And one of you has to yell out starting compressions.
In this scenario, a patient has stopped breathing. These nurses need to work together to save his life.
I'm going to start compressions right now.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. It's a scenario. It's a VR. It's not an actual clinical space. Yet my mind was still, my heart was still pumping hard that, oh my God, I don't want this patient to die on me.
What started off as a pilot project is now being extended.
So it's that level of technology that creates more immersive learning environments that really brings students to apply their skills and feel like it's a realistic situation to help them take it seriously so they can apply their knowledge.
A hands-on lesson giving them a chance to work on their bedside manner or tackle a code blue where a patient needs immediate resuscitation.
VR gives students a really good opportunity to have their first attempt at something more maybe serious like that be something with a little bit lower stakes without consequence, but still feeling very real and very immersive.
More than 900 students have practiced using the VR tool. The university is looking to add a third lab this fall. Naramanisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Canada's inflation rate has spiked to the highest level in more than 2 years, and it is even higher in Alberta. We'll show you the sectors really delivering a wallop to the wallet. And meet the Calgary student who developed a plan to turn orange peels into biodegradable plastic. Stay with us for that. Statistics Canada released its annual inflation report for May this morning, and it will be no surprise to anyone watching. Prices are up in Alberta. In Alberta, though, inflation is blowing past the national average. As Kevin Green reports, the reason prices are higher here is mostly the result of one thing.
Inflation is up countrywide, largely driven by gas prices, which are a whopping 33.2% higher than last year.
Nothing goes back down. Since the pandemic, it all seems to go up.
It's bad. It's putting more hole in your pocket. That's the thing.
Overall, the cost of food also jumped 4.3%, but fresh veggies, 9%.
Pretty well everything. Yeah, fruit, vegetables, everything seems to keep going up and up.
Even tomatoes, they've gone way up.
Even kids are feeling the bite.
Like, even at McDonald's right over there, like, I'm trying to buy a meal, it's like $20, which is like kind of crazy for me.
It's really bad. Yeah, it's not fun to think about as a kid.
Nationally, annualized inflation was 3.2% in May, up from 2.8% in April. But Alberta outpaced the nation with a 3.7% inflation jump, largely a result of one thing.
Auto insurance premiums have spiked, as we noted in the report, 26% year over year.
Car insurance, even it's gone up. We have to be around $350 a month.
Stripping out energy prices, national inflation was a modest 2.2% in May.
Which is exactly what the Bank of Canada wants. So I think they're going to see this as a temporary phenomenon.
The Bank of Canada might like those numbers, but for the average Canadian, it's still a grind.
Money runs out before the month does.
We're focusing on the wrong item. The issue is, why aren't our incomes keeping pace anymore with inflation? And that issue rests with productivity.
The solution to that, says economist Moshe Lander, is increased competition between provinces and industries like food retail, telecoms, and energy suppliers, something he says governments, both provincial and federal, have promised but failed to deliver. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
The next Bank of Canada interest rate announcement is scheduled for July 15th. Just ahead, he's one of Mexico City's most well-known residents, and he doesn't duck from the spotlight. Today, Merlin was center stage with the country's president. Our trending videos are next. Calgary had quite a showing at the Canada-wide Science Fair in Edmonton last month. 17 local students showed off their projects alongside the country's best. And a grade 9 student took home a number of awards with her alternative to biodegradable plastic. Kevin Fleming reports.
It's transparent and looks similar to plastic products, but what Gayatri Sakarkar dreamed up for her science fair project is very different. She's developed an alternative covering that farmers can use on their crops, and it's environmentally friendly.
A lot of biodegradable alternatives have emerged, but these alternatives still release microplastics because they are often derived from petroleum-based biopolymers, and hence there was a need for a more safer alternative, which is what I created.
The 15-year-old spent months researching and developing her product outside of her schoolwork and designed an organic solution.
Polysaccharides are long chains of sugars, and they are derived from simple materials like orange peels and pineapple peels. And through extracting these sugars from these waste materials, I was able to create a low toxicity plastic, yet with also affordability and similar effectiveness to conventional films.
Her project earned her a top 6 at the Calgary Youth Science Fair and a gold medal at the national event in Edmonton.
You could tell that she did this herself, kind of originated the idea, developed the procedure, did all the work, and then solved a real world problem from start to finish. So for me, that's the most impressive is when they can do that. And it actually works at the end.
Sakarkar took in her first science fair when she was in grade 5, and her stepdad says she's always been a keen researcher.
I always ask questions about this and that, so sometimes it's hard for me to answer those questions, but I try my best.
Science fair allows me to go deep into a topic that I truly love, so it's not really to me like a part of academics. It's a way for me to enjoy and just discover new things.
Sakarkar says she still has more testing to do on her product and one day wants to manufacture it on an industrial scale to see how it performs. But for now, she's focused on finishing grade 9. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Now, along with an Innovate Grant Award at the Canada-wide Science Fair, Sakarkar brought home a gold medal and placed first in her category, winning a Challenge Award in Agriculture, Fisheries and Food. Talk about smart, you guys. Grade 9. Wow.
Yeah. Pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, good for her. Well, eventually we're going to get hot enough one of these days to play outside in the sun. So here are some easy ideas for the kiddos. Isn't that clever?
Yeah.
You need a hose, you need some imagination. These kids are creating characters from movies. They just lay in the driveway, get a few props. E.T., that one, that's good.
We'll try that. I'll be the one to spray, though.
The mom does the spraying, the kids do the lying.
Well, the good thing around here, we don't need the hose. We can just lay down and have the rain,
That's
and then we
true.
can up in there.
You could do this in the rain, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Good thinking. Well, the next time you're doing a plank during a workout, just remember, it's actually child's play.
Baby, are you planking?
Look at
No
that.
sweat. She can't even walk, but she can plank like a pro. This is Layla, and she's just holding this exercise for about 30 seconds, smile on her face. She's not even breaking a sweat.
I think she may stay like that forever.
Yeah.
Never seen a plank done in a diaper, but that's impressive.
Yeah.
Strong little one.
We'll have to remember that the next time we're at the gym. Wow. Well, do you guys remember last week we introduced you to Merlin the duck in Mexico City? Turns out everybody wants to meet Merlin now. Oh, okay, so that's the president of Mexico there in the red skirt, Gloria Scheinbaum. She wanted to meet Merlin too. They were all invited to her weekly press conference today. Last week, FIFA named Merlin its official World Cup ambassador in Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Following his rise to stardom. He was already quite well known locally, but that video of him in his soccer jersey, wandering around the arena area, has now had millions of views. So
just
now
the duck
famous.
living his best life.
Just living his best duck life, Glenn.
Most famous duck in the world.
Yeah, his cute little jersey. Still to come, we'll take a closer look at today's inflation data and what is to blame for the higher prices that we're all paying. Those details are in our business report.
Skywatch weather camera. Depending on which way you look, this way you can see a little more blue, the other way a little more cloud, but all that will work its way out for tomorrow. Okay, 15 degrees current temperature. Today's high just 16, nowhere near 21 or this record-breaking number here, 33.3 from 1919. Okay, looking at the rest of the country, 29 was the high in Victoria, so that was one of the hot spots for sure. 12 in St. John's and 19 in Toronto. So cooler in some spots, but most communities were in those low to mid 20s, which is where we're going to be tomorrow. This system working its way off to the east, still creating some instability and some isolated showers. So we have the potential of on and off showers right up until about midnight. Then it's out of the way. And then for tomorrow at 8 a.m., 12 degrees. By the afternoon, 20. This comes with lots of sunshine, and this also comes with calm winds. So it's a stunning day tomorrow. That's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fix right or it's free. Okay, taking a little look around. Kamloops 32 for tomorrow, Kelowna 31, so a lot of excessive heat off on the BC side. And then 21 for Rocky Mountain House in Red Deer. And further to the south end, we are looking at a whole lot of sunshine, although we'll likely hang on to some more cloud cover for Coronation and Drumheller, but there will still be lots of sunshine as well. Lethbridge looking at a high of 22 for tomorrow, Medicine Hat 21. And as you can see, for all of the south, temperatures should at least get to that 20 mark. Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. A showdown over noise regulations will head back to City Hall tomorrow. It comes as politicians are sounding off about the rules for Stampede festivals, including the Cowboys tent. Now councillors will look at reconsidering changes made that would impact hours of operation and the noise levels. A woman who was shot by police on the weekend has died. It happened when officers responded to multiple reports about a dangerous driver on Deerfoot Trail Sunday afternoon. And you may not be seeing many mosquitoes at the moment, but the city says get ready because when the temperatures warm up, the pesky creatures will be out. A new McDonald's restaurant is coming to Calgary with a unique objective. Groundbreaking is underway for the new location at Buffalo Run. It's a collaboration between the company and Tsuut'ina Nation and is guided by the Cultural Advisory Working Group. It will ensure Tsuut'ina heritage, values and vision are embedded in the location through the use of art and design. This will be the first McDonald's anywhere to take these steps.
I think for us as a people, it's going through each generation, right? The first WUSA, as we call them, which is our youth, they're going to experience McDonald's like no one else, along with the other developments. So they're going to have a sense of pride that I wouldn't have had growing up, because I have to experience the generic Canadian model, but most of my people won't have to. So I think that's special.
The restaurant is set to open at the end of the year. Inflation hit an annualized rate of 3.2% in May, the highest it has been in 2 years. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more details.
The big reason is still gas prices, which in May spiked 33% year over year. The Iran conflict also led to higher jet fuel costs, which showed up in May. And then there were groceries. The cost of fresh vegetables rose 9%, with a big move up for tomatoes. The price of fresh fruit also moved up over 5%. The memory chip shortages also put pressure on the prices of computer equipment and supplies. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar's up to 70.62. West Texas Intermediate down to 74.82. Western Canadian Select up 15 cents to 62.45. And the TSX gained 144 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
The Minister of Energy has announced what he calls a new beginning or new chapter for Canada's nuclear program, with a strategy that outlines a plan for the sector both at home and abroad. But that plan is short on details when it comes to funding or specific projects. Here's CTV's Ottawa Bureau Chief Graham Richardson.
They are complex and expensive, but also steady workhorses of electricity in Canada, nuclear reactors. The government announcing today they want an aggressive strategy to boost Canada's nuclear output.
We are writing the next chapter in one of Canada's greatest industrial success stories.
The plan, build up to 10 new reactors. Right now, 90,000 people work in the industry. They want to double that in the next decade and enter 4 international markets by 2040.
If our goal is to double our grid and reach net zero by 2050, there is no credible plan for Canada to do that without nuclear energy.
All those new reactors will need more uranium. NextGen's deposit of uranium in northern Saskatchewan at the Athabasca Basin is one of the world's largest. The company will build a mine here and partner with First Nations and Métis people.
It's a very exciting time. We're players now in that space, and it's a good future to look at in regards to where nuclear energy is going.
All of this new generation will create more waste. Eventually it will come here. The tiny town of Ignace in northwestern Ontario will be the site of a massive nuclear waste facility. The mayor says that has already benefited her town.
I've always said this is our future, and it's not just our future as in our Ignace and Wabigoon. It's Canada's future.
The Prime Minister was not involved in this strategy because of previous connections to companies that work in the nuclear space. The Prime Minister's office, when asked, would not tell us the names of those companies. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Ottawa.
Parks Canada is working to slow down the progression of a fatal disease in Alberta bats. White nose syndrome is a fungal infection that can kill an entire population of bats. In the past few years, it's been detected in Alberta, including in a cave in Jasper National Park. Parks Canada crews are now spreading a fungi-fighting probiotic at cave entrances where bats hibernate. There's no known cure for the fungus, but the probiotic has been shown to inhibit its growth and spread. A local tennis complex announces an expansion plan. Glenn takes a look at what it means for players next. The city is testing more autonomous grass mowers at parks this summer. The Robo mowers will be used at Glenmore and Frank McCool athletic parks. It's part of a pilot project that began in 2024. The pilot will continue through the rest of the year, and the city will then assess the project after it's completed. The NHL draft is set for this Friday and Saturday in Buffalo. Glenn is back with us, and Glenn, the Flames are going to be busy.
Well, the Flames have 2 picks in the first round, Tara. They have the 6th overall pick, and then they have the 30th overall pick. And then they also have 4 picks in the second round, 35th, 36th, 51st, and 56th overall. Now, the Flames could also use some of those picks to trade or to move up. Meanwhile, there has been quite a few trades leading up to the draft. Yesterday was a doozy. Brady Tkachuk is joining his brother Matthew in Florida. The Ottawa Senators dealt their captain to the Panthers in exchange for the number 9 and 25 picks in this year's NHL draft and a second-round selection in the 2027 NHL draft and a conditional first-round pick in 2029. Sens GM Steve Staios says the player forced their hand. He asked for a trade, and it was clear he wanted to go to Florida to play with Matthew.
I think there's a clear path on why this player wanted to play in a certain market with a certain player. What would it have looked different with 31 teams involved? Absolutely. We did the best we could with what we're under the circumstances.
Kind of starting to become a trend in the NHL. American players with long-term contracts and no trade clauses wanting out, but are only willing to go to a few teams. Dylan Larkin, Connor Hellebuck, we've heard about him. They've also asked to be traded. Austin and Victor Alberta Tennis Center is about to get bigger. Plans for an expansion were announced this weekend. The Austin and Victor Alberta Tennis Center is now 10 years old, and it's been a huge success story. The Austin and Victor knew it would grow over time, but not this quickly.
I think we've far exceeded our expectations, and it's a testament to the great community we have and the supporters.
On the weekend, the Austin and Victor Alberta Tennis Center announced they'll be expanding.
So the next phase of our expansion will see 8 more indoor year-round tennis courts, which will improve our accessibility by 62%. So we'll actually add about 115,000 hours of court time to Calgarians year-round.
The Austin and Victor serves about 50,000 people each year. Patrick Thomas has been a member for nearly 10 years. He's also on the board of Tennis Alberta. He says booking indoor courts can be a challenge.
People are always complaining, I can't get a court, right? So, and it is a common complaint right across Calgary or across Alberta, being able to access indoor courts.
Kirsten Smith loves to play tennis. She says the expansion is really going to help.
I think that there's a lot of people that would love to play tennis, but it's so hard to be able to actually get a court at a reasonable time that's not 10 p.m. at night, that a lot of people just opt out to not do it. So I think that having more access to courts, especially in this part of town where we have so much population in the south, we're going to see a lot more people coming out to play tennis, and I'm really excited about it.
DaCosta says they'll be adding more parking, and there's another phase to add more courts.
And we also have a phase 4 planned a little further down the line that will see outdoor courts as well on our site, so we can expand our facility by another 14 tennis courts, which would make it one of the largest in Canada.
That's an impressive center, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah, it's great there.
That's great. That's awesome. Thank you, Glenn. All right, final peek at the forecast, Danielle. It's getting good.
Yeah, so the next 3 days are stunning. Lots of sunshine, highs in the 20s. Very nice weather, and my suggestion is enjoy it as much as possible because it looks like the next system rolls in on Friday or at least late Thursday, and it's a lot of rainfall with this one. So yeah, just want to make sure prepared. And cooler temperatures once again for the weekend. Okay, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, Alberta's climate. The south end of Calgary saw a good amount of hail on Saturday, and John McMahon took this one in Canyon Meadows.
But things are looking very lush. That's the upside.
Exactly.
Thank you, Danielle. Well, our news is preempted tomorrow by FIFA World Cup. However, we will be on the web, so you can go to ctvnewscalgary.ca for your news update, and we will be back on Wednesday. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a great evening.